All right, everyone, we're here to get you excited, and we're here to ask you to go home and vote as many times as you can and ask your parents, because this man is our super knight, and he so proudly deserves it. As a parent sending our children here for 6 hours a day, we have to trust in the great, effective leadership of Mr. King, the passionate, wonderful teachers, and the safe and clean environment through which they learn and flourish. Mr. Qualley, you and your team help provide that and so much more.
Once a year, we come flying off the bus and immediately call our 89-year-old and grandpa, who has been eagerly awaiting for our call since the beginning of spring, to hear about our plants that Mr. Qualley grew for us, and we bring over to plant with him. And he proudly puts our names in the ground all summer we watch them grow.
What also grows is kindness, giving, and tradition. As a 6th grade coordinator, I came into the office one day, as I usually do, and asked the ladies at the desk for help. They pick up their walkie-talkies. Mr. Qualley, someone needs you in the office. Every time he comes in, he is eager and waiting to help. We asked him for help with our 6th grade service project to honor and remember children that have passed from our school. He went and purchased the trees by himself, brought them to school, showed 90 of our students how to plant them, and helped him plant them, and then he continued to nurture them, as he still does. More importantly, the seeds he plants in our children are seeds of pride and honor, loyalty and kindness, and work ethic. And for that, we are forever grateful.
I nominate Mr. Qualley for the Janitor of the Year because he snow plows our courtyard so we have space to hang out and play. Also, I nominate him for Janitor of the Year because he always does things with a smile on his face.
Mr. Qualley, I have had the honor of knowing you for 10 years. In that time, you have advised, guided, and helped to make each day and every event at Newtown Elementary School complete. Your work days consist of, Mr. Qualley, we need, or Mr. Qualley, can you? Well, there it is. Now it's time to say, Mr. Qualley, this is for you. Thank you for everything you do for us.
Every school thinks their gender deserves to win, but we have Mr. Qualley, and you're the best. Vote for Mr. Qualley!
I want to invite Mr. Tom Crow. He is the head of our maintenance department and works closely with Ted, and he wanted to say a few words as well. Mr. Crow, thank you for coming. All right, we appreciate it very much. There he goes. He's going to give us a few here.
Well, the one thing that I can say about Ted is he is the epitome of the Council Rock family. He is a rock. When I call, we have many other jobs that go on throughout the district that I have to pull building mechanics out of the building. Ted never hesitates. He says, okay, fine, I'll check with Mr. King. And I'm, okay. But we always worked it out. Mr. King and Ted always get along very well. Right, Ted? Okay, good. He's very dependable. He's always here. I've been here about 10 years now, and as soon as I got here, Ted kind of took me aside and he explained to me how things should be ran, and I hope I'm doing a good job of it. Doing all right? Okay. I just want to thank you. You have done a tremendous, this is outstanding, all these people that are showing their trust and appreciation of what you do, because believe me, I certainly do appreciate it as well. Thank you.
Boys and girls, one of the things that Mr. Crow doesn't know is that you are my helpers. You are my eyes and ears, and every time there's something wrong, you tell me. And that's what keeps me on my feet and I get everything done. So you get just as much credit as I do, because without you, I wouldn't be able to do my job. You make it so much easier. So I want to thank you for keeping me on my toes.
All right, Mr. Eckelmeyer, on behalf of our staff.
Thanks everybody for coming. Great honor for a great person who's been loyal to this district and his family for many years. I think you've been an employee of Council Rock for maybe 45 years or so, give or take. And again, I represent the staff here, which who appreciates what you do every day for us, from cleaning our air filters to adjusting our temperatures to making sure everything's running safely and smoothly for staff and students here. Again, knowing you for over 25 years, the two things that really resonate with me, Ted, are your loyalty in general, your commitment to your family, and your work ethic, all of which I greatly admire and try to take after you in those regards. From fishing trips in Alaska to Jersey Shore trips to discussions about grandchildren. If you ever want to see a big smile on this man's face, just ask him about his grandchildren, and that's for sure. And your work ethic, you know, I'll ask you what you do for a weekend. You say, well, I rototilled 3 gardens and I chopped 3 cords of wood, and then in the afternoon I spent time with my grandchildren. So, you rarely do take a day off. I admire that, and there's so much of you that I try to make my own. On behalf of the staff, congratulations, you've already won.
Just one real quick footnote. One of the biggest things is communication, and everybody in this building communicates. All the teachers, all the kids, even my buddy Brandon there, he was clapping for me. But that's what makes it all work, is communication. I listen and he's communicating, especially the teachers. They tell me little problems, and I try to take care of them. But use the students or the inspiration. That's what keeps me going. Thank you.
Okay, just a couple final thoughts from me. I've known Mr. Qualley for 18 years, right? When we met I was principal at Wrightstown Elementary School, and I was there for 7 years, and Mr. Qualley worked with me there. And I remember Mr. Qualley because Wrightstown is a very small school, and they used to lose electricity a lot. Right, Mr. Qualley? And when Wrightstown loses electricity, the well pump stops working, and then the water stops working. So I could always be assured when the electricity went off at Wrightstown Elementary School, Mr. Qualley would say, you have toilets for an hour and a half. Right? That's about 3 flushes of toilet, and then we're dry and empty, and then you gotta go to the library. All right? So for Mr. Qualley, 18 years has been great. He's a great partner, he's a great friend, he's a great worker, and he takes unbelievable care of this building. Couple of things though, Mr. Qualley. This is the janitor of the year, Mr. Qualley, and you're much more than a janitor. All right? I gotta make sure we say that. That's what Cintas calls this, the janitor of the year. But Mr. Qualley is the energy czar, right, Mr. Crow? Right? That's why we won the Energy Award 10 years ago, and that's why the plaque is hanging here, because Mr. Qualley takes care of this building like he does. Mr. Qualley is also the gardener. He takes care of all the gardens around here. He helps, he advises, he gives you guys plants, which is the most amazing thing, Mr. Qualley, every year. That's an unbelievable tradition. Mr. Qualley is the go-to person for safety. If there is a problem in this building, he is the first person we call to go take care of locked doors, to fix something, to make sure things are okay for you students to move in and out of this building in a safe way. If there is somebody outside the building that looks a little shady or we need help, we call Mr. Qualley and he goes out and he makes sure that person is safe and here for a reason. You don't know that about Mr. Qualley, but that's what he does. He cleans the building, he fixes the building, and he keeps everybody here safe. So he's all those jobs, and plus, he's also a good counselor, right? Because Mr. Qualley told me, Dawn, the hardest thing that he had to do was give his daughter away in marriage. And that was when, after we got done talking about the grandkids, we started talking about family. And he knows I have an 18-year-old that's going off to college, and he's like, that's nothing. Wait till you give your daughter away for marriage, he said. That was the toughest thing I had to do. And we know, because Mr. Qualley is an unbelievable family man. And everybody in here should take after Mr. Qualley, because his family is first, all right? And he takes unbelievable care of them, working as many jobs as he has to make sure his family is taken care of. And then after it's family, it's Council Rock. Mr. Qualley, if you guys don't know, he started working in Council Rock when he was 16 years old. Oh my God. All right? Now, he's a little bit older, but he has spent his life going to school or working in Council Rock School District. The only break he took from working in Council Rock is he went into the Air Force for 10 years, and that's why we know he's a veteran. So he has dedicated his life So one of the most amazing things about Mr. Qualley, and a trait we should all learn from, is the fact that he serves. He serves his family. He serves everybody in this school. He serves everybody in this district. He is the go-to guy when somebody needs help. He has served our country, and for 45, 50 years, it's been all about Council Rock. And Ted, on behalf of everybody that has crossed paths with you, you're an outstanding gentleman. You're a hard worker. You get the job done. Your work ethic, Mr. Eckelmeyer, thanks for recognizing that, is impeccable and second to none. And you saw him here. You don't want to mess with Mr. Qualley. He only did 6 push-ups. The other day in my office, he did 50. All right? I didn't. He did 50, and I said, wow. He did 50. So the man is unbelievable. So Ted, again, we are here to celebrate you. And I like what Mr. Eckelmeyer said. You're a winner, whether you get the most votes or not. And we love having you here, and we appreciate you beyond belief. And I hope this is just a little sign of how much we appreciate you. All right? Okay.